There is a strange truth that most people never discover until life forces it upon them. The more you try to explain yourself, the less powerful you become. The more you chase understanding, approval, and validation, the more your value seems to slip through your fingers. Yet those who understand this hidden law move differently. They do not waste energy convincing. They do not fight every misunderstanding. They do not answer every accusation. Instead, they master something far more powerful than speech. They master absence. Most people believe power comes from visibility. They think influence comes from being seen constantly, speaking constantly, proving themselves constantly. Society encourages this belief. It teaches people to announce every goal, display every achievement, and react to every criticism. Yet the Stoics understood a deeper reality. What is always available loses its value. What is always speaking loses its weight. What is always present becomes ordinary. Think carefully about your own life. Have you ever noticed how people often appreciate something only after it is gone? A friendship, an opportunity, a respected colleague, a loyal partner. Presence is frequently underestimated because it becomes familiar. Absence, however, forces reflection. It creates space for memory, imagination, and realization. This is why silence often speaks louder than argument. When someone expects a reaction and receives none, they are left alone with their own thoughts. When someone expects you to defend yourself endlessly, and you simply continue your path, they are confronted by something they cannot control. Your refusal to participate in unnecessary conflict becomes a demonstration of strength. The Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius understood this principle deeply. Despite possessing immense authority, he rarely sought attention. He spent countless hours examining his own mind rather than managing the opinions of others. He understood that a person's worth is determined not by public applause, but by private character. The average person lives as a prisoner of external judgment. They wake up wondering what others think. They make decisions based on social approval. They alter their behavior to avoid criticism. In doing so, they surrender control of their emotional state to forces outside themselves. Stoicism teaches the opposite. It begins with one of the most powerful ideas ever conceived, the dichotomy of control. Some things belong to you. Others do not. Your choices belong to you. Your actions belong to you. Your character belongs to you. The opinions of others do not. Their interpretations do not. Their reactions do not. Once you truly understand this distinction, your relationship with absence changes forever. You stop seeing absence as weakness. You begin seeing it as discipline. Many people fear disappearing because they assume they will be forgotten. They fear that if they stop explaining, stop posting, stop arguing, or stop chasing attention, they will lose significance. But this fear reveals a dangerous dependence. It reveals that their identity has become tied to recognition rather than reality. The Stoic does not measure value by visibility. The Stoic measures value by virtue. If your character remains strong, your worth remains intact whether 1,000 people notice or nobody notices at all. Consider how often people destroy opportunities simply because they cannot remain silent. They announce plans before they are completed. They reveal ambitions before they have built the necessary discipline. They seek praise for intentions instead of results. The temporary pleasure of recognition becomes a substitute for actual achievement. Ancient Stoic thinkers warned against this tendency. The moment a goal is announced, the mind often experiences a false sense of accomplishment. Energy that should have been invested in action is spent receiving approval. The result is predictable. Grand declarations are followed by ordinary effort. The wise person understands another path. They work quietly. They improve quietly. They suffer quietly. While others compete for attention, they compete with their former selves. While others seek witnesses, they seek mastery. This kind of strategic silence is frequently misunderstood. People assume silence means weakness because they themselves use noise to compensate for insecurity. But genuine strength rarely needs advertisement. A mountain does not announce its height. The ocean does not proclaim its depth. Reality requires no promotion. Notice how powerful individuals often operate. They do not reveal every move. They do not expose every intention. They understand that excessive disclosure creates unnecessary resistance. Every ambition shared invites opinions. Every plan announced attracts distractions. Every dream revealed prematurely becomes vulnerable to interference. Absence creates protection. Silence creates focus. When nobody knows exactly what you are building, you are free to build without interruption. When nobody knows your next move, you are difficult to manipulate. When your energy remains directed toward progress rather than explanation, your results begin speaking on your behalf. The Stoics recognize that words are cheap because they cost little. Action is expensive because it demands sacrifice. Therefore, they trusted action far more than speech. One of the greatest misconceptions in human behavior is the belief that every criticism deserves a response. Entire lives are wasted fighting battles that never needed to be fought. Imagine a person throws an insult toward you. Most people immediately react. Their emotions ignite. Their pride feels threatened. They rush to defend themselves. Yet what has actually happened? A sound entered their ears. A judgment was expressed. Nothing more. The suffering begins not with the criticism itself, but with the meaning assigned to it. Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not by events but by their opinions about events. This insight remains as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. The insult does not possess power inherently. It acquires power only when you grant it authority over your peace of mind. This is where absence becomes transformative. Instead of responding emotionally, you withdraw your participation. You refuse to feed the conflict. You deny the critic access to your attention. Many people cannot tolerate this. They expect resistance. They expect argument. They expect emotional engagement. Silence unsettles them because it removes the game they were prepared to play. The strongest response is often no response at all. This does not mean accepting injustice or abandoning principles. It means recognizing the difference between meaningful action and an emotional reaction. The Stoic never confuses the two. When someone attacks your reputation, remember that reputation exists largely within the minds of others. Character exists within your own actions. One is external. The other is internal. One is beyond your control. The other belongs entirely to you. The person obsessed with reputation becomes fragile. Every rumor becomes a threat. Every criticism becomes a crisis. Every misunderstanding becomes an emergency. Their emotional stability depends on circumstances they cannot command. The person focused on character becomes resilient. They know who they are. They know what they stand for. They know their principles. Because their foundation is internal, external noise loses much of its power. Absence from unnecessary conflict preserves energy, and energy is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Every argument consumes attention. Every emotional reaction drains focus. Every attempt to control another person's opinion steals time from your own growth. The Stoic asks a simple question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, why surrender my peace to it? Carries such extraordinary power, and it is a reason most people never recognize. Human beings are creatures of habit. We quickly adapt to what is constantly available. Appreciation fades when access becomes unlimited. Attention weakens when something is always within reach. This principle applies not only to possessions but also to people. When an individual is constantly available, constantly responding, constantly seeking interaction, others begin to assume that access is guaranteed. Their presence becomes expected rather than valued. But when that same person develops purpose, boundaries, and self-respect, something changes. Their time becomes scarce. Their attention becomes intentional. Their energy is no longer distributed carelessly. The Stoics understood that life itself is limited. Every hour spent chasing approval is an hour that can never be recovered. Every moment wasted proving your worth is a moment stolen from becoming worthy. This is why disciplined absence is not about manipulation. It is about priorities. The Stoic does not withdraw to make others miss them. The Stoic withdraws to strengthen themselves. If others eventually notice, that is merely a byproduct, not the objective. Consider the craftsman working late into the night while the world sleeps. Consider the athlete training when nobody is watching. Consider the entrepreneur studying, building, and refining while others seek entertainment. Their greatest progress occurs in isolation. Growth often demands temporary invisibility. The modern world encourages the opposite. It rewards immediate expression. It rewards constant updates. It rewards broadcasting every thought before it has matured. Yet wisdom develops differently. Wisdom grows in silence. Character grows in solitude. Strength grows through repetition, performed without applause. Many people want the rewards of mastery without enduring the loneliness that mastery requires. They want recognition before achievement. They want results before sacrifice. They want respect before discipline. The Stoic reverses the order. First comes discipline. Then comes growth. Then comes achievement. Recognition, if it arrives at all, comes last. And because recognition is not the goal, it never becomes a source of emotional dependence. One of the most dangerous traps in life is the desire to be understood by everyone. At first, this desire appears harmless. After all, who does not want fairness? Who does not want others to see their intentions accurately? Yet beneath this desire often lies a subtle form of attachment. We begin believing our peace depends upon the agreement of others. The Stoics rejected this belief completely. No matter how carefully you explain yourself, some people will misunderstand. No matter how honestly you act, some people will question your motives. No matter how much good you accomplish, some people will focus on flaws. This reality is not a tragedy. It is simply part of human nature. People interpret the world through their own experiences, fears, biases, ambitions, and emotions. Their judgments often reveal more about them than about you. Once you understand this, an enormous burden falls away. You stop exhausting yourself trying to control narratives. You stop chasing impossible levels of universal approval. You stop fighting every false assumption. Instead, you return your attention to the only territory that truly belongs to you, your own conduct. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that criticism, praise, admiration, and condemnation are fleeting. Today's admirer may become tomorrow's critic. Today's critic may become tomorrow's supporter. Public opinion changes like weather. Character, however, can remain stable. This stability creates freedom. Imagine living without constantly checking whether others approve of your choices. Imagine making decisions based on principles rather than popularity. Imagine pursuing your purpose without requiring permission from strangers. That is the freedom Stoicism offers. When your identity no longer depends upon external validation, absence becomes effortless. You no longer fear disappearing because your value is no longer measured by visibility. You no longer fear silence because your confidence is not built upon attention. You understand that the strongest roots grow underground, unseen by anyone. Yet those invisible roots support the tallest trees. The same is true of human excellence. Radical self-discipline is perhaps the most misunderstood form of power in existence. People often imagine power as dominance over others. The Stoics saw power differently. To them, the greatest victory was victory over oneself. Anyone can react impulsively. Anyone can follow temptation. Anyone can surrender to comfort. But controlling desires, mastering emotions, and maintaining focus despite difficulty requires something far rarer. It requires inner authority. Every day presents a choice between immediate gratification and long-term fulfillment. The easier path usually offers quick pleasure. The harder path offers future strength. Most people repeatedly choose what feels good now. Then they wonder why their lives remain unchanged. The Stoic understands that every meaningful achievement is purchased through delayed gratification. The ability to endure temporary discomfort becomes a competitive advantage in a world increasingly addicted to convenience. Absence plays a critical role here as well. Sometimes you must be absent from distractions, absent from meaningless entertainment, absent from unnecessary drama, absent from environments that encourage mediocrity, absent from people who continuously pull you away from your purpose. This form of absence is not loss. It is investment. Every distraction removed creates space for concentration. Every temptation resisted strengthens self-command. Every moment of disciplined effort compounds into future capability. Over months and years, the difference becomes extraordinary. Two individuals may begin with similar talents, similar opportunities, and similar circumstances. Yet the one who consistently chooses discipline gradually separates from the one who chooses comfort. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through accumulated decisions. The Stoics believe that destiny is often shaped through daily habits rather than dramatic events. Great lives are not built in moments of inspiration. They are built through repeated acts of discipline that nobody applauds and few people notice. For long periods, the disciplined individual may appear invisible. Then one day the results become impossible to ignore. Ultimately, the power of absence is not about disappearing from the world. It is about refusing to surrender yourself to it. It is the decision to stop chasing every opinion, to stop answering every critic, to stop explaining every choice, to stop seeking validation for every ambition. It is the realization that your life becomes stronger when your attention remains focused on what you can control rather than what you cannot. The Stoics understood a timeless truth. Most suffering comes from fighting reality. We want people to understand us. We want circumstances to favor us. We want outcomes to unfold according to our preferences. Yet reality follows its own course. Wisdom begins when resistance ends. The moment you stop demanding control over the uncontrollable, a profound sense of peace emerges. Energy that was once wasted on frustration becomes available for growth. Attention that was once scattered becomes concentrated. Strength that was once diluted becomes focused. And that is when absence transforms into power. Not because people miss you, not because people wonder about you, not because people finally appreciate you, but because you have reclaimed ownership of your own mind. You are no longer controlled by praise. You are no longer controlled by criticism. You are no longer controlled by attention. You are no longer controlled by neglect. Your stability comes from within. Your confidence comes from character. Your direction comes from purpose. And your peace comes from understanding the difference between what belongs to you and what never did. In a noisy world, silence becomes strength. In a distracted world, focus becomes power. In a reactive world, restraint becomes influence. So the next time you feel tempted to explain yourself endlessly, remember this. The sun never argues about its brightness. The mountain never defends its height. The ocean never proves its depth. They simply are. Become like that. Let your actions speak where words fail. Let your discipline speak where explanations are ignored. Let your character speak where opinions are divided. And when necessary, do not fear absence. Because the strongest presence is often created by the person who has learned that their value does not depend on being seen, heard, or approved of. It depends only on who they choose to become.